What's up, everyone? Happy Friday. It is day 18 out of 75 of my challenge. And as you can see, I'm commuting. I'm actually en route to work. I have a meeting in 2 hours, so I need to get there. But let's see. What has happened since yesterday? I did a quick Car Chronicles. I was en route to the chiropractor, and I was letting you guys know how the comments were on my paper. So what did I focus on yesterday? Well, first off, when class was over, I went for a nice 30-minute walk. It may have been longer than 30 minutes, but it was nice. It was like right at sunset, and I was walking with my husband, and I honestly just needed to kind of refocus, especially since he was like packing and getting ready to go and just all kinds of stuff. So yeah, so we took a nice walk. We just got to catch up, hear about each other's day. The funny thing about being a hybrid worker or working remotely with your spouse, which, I mean, we could really dive into that. Even though we're home, we're not like hanging out all day. I think people think like they have an idea of what it's like to work remotely with your spouse, but then there's like the reality of what it is. And the reality is he's in his office, I'm in my office. I'm usually in and out throughout the day, just because of the nature of the work that I do. And usually Thursdays I have appointments. Try to schedule things on Thursdays, because usually that day I don't have to prep as much for class, and Thursday is more like an admin day for me when it comes to work stuff. So and I had some meetings yesterday as well, but for the most part, when you're working remote, like you're not hanging out with your spouse. I'm not hanging out with my pets all day. That's just not what it is. And so it's always nice when we have dinner together and when we walk, because we're able to just really just connect and attune and all of that. But afterwards, I needed to get gas, or he's so kind. He fills my car up with gas. But this time I joined him, because normally when he fills up my car, I'm normally teaching during that time, but since my class ends at 6, I don't have to do that. I can actually join him. So we got gas. I really wish I would have washed my car, but that's going to happen tomorrow. I actually charged my camera, and I was just kind of like, just kind of reflecting on YouTube and like, what am I doing and where am I going? I'm just realizing, like, why didn't I just follow this platform from the jump? Like, why did I try other spaces? I don't know. I'm glad that I tried the other spaces, but at the same time, I'm just like, no, I always kept coming back to YouTube. I always came back to it. So anyways, after I was charging my camera, I had already rolled my desk out to the front room and was like, all right, you're gonna have to work on your paper at some point. And I also needed to tie up some things from work as well. And so my strategy for the paper was, all right, I need to look at the comments, and then I need to be able to look at the actual live document and start to track getting through the comments. So I decided to focus on that versus actually writing more pages, because I feel like my chair is like, if this girl does not start dealing with these comments, like, we're gonna have a real problem. So she doesn't say it, but it's like one of those things. I just feel it, like, girl, get it together. So I'm doing that. So I worked through about 6 comments out of, I don't know, just worked through at least 6 of them. And one of the major ones was dealing with the APA formatting. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, my paragraphs kept centering instead of like aligning to the left of the document. And I couldn't figure out, I could not figure out for weeks what was she talking about until I really just was like, click here, click there. And then I realized like, oh, my alignment is really off. Oops. But you can't see it. Like I couldn't see it. And I think partly because I'm the one working through this document all the time. So it just made it really challenging. But after I did that, I think I uploaded a video for the night. And also side note, as an entrepreneur, at some point I was podcasting. It had to have been 2 or 3 years ago. I was pretty strong in doing it in 2020. I did DRW interviews in 2021, and I think into 2022. I would have to go back and look. But I like totally launched a whole podcast in 2020, June of 2020 to be specific. And I have been wanting to reemerge in the podcasting space for at least 2 years, at least 2. But so much has changed, and it's another one of those reminders of like, why didn't I just stay with this? Like, why did I derail myself? I don't know. But life and priority, and now I'm just like, no, I'm ready for the long game, the marathon. So I know once I relaunch the podcast, I have the thumbnail, I have everything is ready. I just have to record. Matter of fact, the only other thing that was honestly kind of also really holding me back is I didn't have a microphone. Or I've had a microphone, but it doesn't work very well anymore. So I needed to order a new mic, which I officially pulled the trigger on that last night. So podcast is coming, and the funny thing is, when I launched my podcast, YouTube did not have a podcasting option. So that's how I feel like that's how long ago I was podcasting, before YouTube even had the option. So the fact that I can do a podcast episode, put it on YouTube, and then still stream it on my regular platforms that I've been streaming on, I'm really stoked about that. So that way those of you that are subscribed, you can listen to the podcast on YouTube, or you can go to whatever streaming service you use for podcasting. So a lot of great things are happening. A lot of great things. Well on my way. But anyways, happy Friday. Happy day 18. I said 18, right? Out of 75. Also, I've already did the spin bike this morning. The only thing I'm going to have to do tonight is write. I'll do some more revisions for about 45 minutes, and then I'll close out for the night. And aside from that, that's what I have going on. I'm going to try to vlog, whether you like this chatty type of content, like, subscribe, comment, share if you want. And big shout out to all the commuters out there. Big shouts out to all of y'all that are commuting, your drivers. We get it. We are our own road warriors. So anyways, all right, take care, guys.